Hi guys, I kind of need a charge, but I want to show you what I do when I get a lot of meat like this in the house. I'm going to separate it because meat is expensive. So what you want to do is get your Ziploc bags out. If you don't have the meat dividers, you can use something called wax paper. Now I got some old wax paper here. You can even use foil if you want to, but I don't use that. I use wax paper and I use Ziploc bags. And I'm showing you, I separate my meat because meat has gone up. I couldn't believe the price of the pot roast. The little thin, and it was thin. It wasn't even a thick pot roast. So what you're going to be doing every time you shop for your meats, is take all your meats. You see all my meats right here? These are the meats I bought. I got a couple more up in the freezer that I'm not going to separate because I'm going to cook them. But even that big flank steak, I'm going to separate that too. I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, I separate all meats because, you know, last time I started the carnivore, I didn't separate the meats because we just eat to feel full because we had just started it. But now I've been on this over 30 days. This is going into like my second part, like my second month, sort of, so to speak. So I've been on, this is my 60-day, my 45-day mark or whatever. So now I know that I can separate my meats. I'm used to eating the meat, and the butter, the meat, and the egg, and all of that together is delicious. But you don't have to eat like a ravenous wolf. You know, still eat, you know, sensible to save money on your meats. So I'm going to show you what I do. This video will be kind of sideways, but I'm going to make me another cup of coffee while I work on this. I don't have my meat gloves, so you might not see my head all the time because my phone is on charge. Let me see if I can put this up higher. Let's see if I can put it up higher so you can see. So what I'm going to be showing you here is you're going to cut the meat, put some wax paper, and put it in the Ziploc bag. And you don't have to make it no certain way, but if you know that you need at least 2 hamburgers per Ziploc bag, because that's a burger a piece, or you need 4 per Ziploc bag, then you're going to put 4. You're going to add 4. So I'm going to get a knife. Get you a nice little sharp knife that you can cut your meat with. I got this one. Using your wax paper, you put your wax paper on your chopping board so you won't have a bloodied up chopping board. Put a little piece on the bottom, and then I'm going to show you what to do. Okay, let me pour this coffee water in here, and I'm going to keep charging up to the phone because it needs charging. Have me one more cup of coffee. And nobody's perfect, guys. I stole 2 of my son's cookies out of his pack. I'm like, you got them little take cookies. I'm a sugar addict, so that's why I know not to bring that much sugar in the house because it's gonna ruin my diet. It's gonna ruin what I'm doing. But I did still be 2 out of there. So so I'm gonna try to get this focused over here on the meat so I can show you exactly what's going on. I wish I could turn this the right way, but it's really hard. Hold on. I'm going to put it right here so you can be right up close to what's happening here. And see how I'm separating it out. 1 second. Sitting there watching Columbo. I'm not going to put any butter in this coffee. I'm just going to use the creamer, and I'm going to use my collagen. I'm going to use my collagen because I haven't had any collagen today in this one. It's just a heavy whipped creamer and a little collagen. I'm okay with the butter. I had that on the last one. So this is going to be just fine. The other thing I need to replace is my electrolyte powders. I'm going to have to order these. These come on Amazon. I'm going to have to order these next week. I don't have the money to order that right now. But my electrolyte powders, I got to get replaced Get me a box of those because I'm down to one little powder. And I keep them because they have magnesium and potassium in them. And I don't want to be eating bananas and all of that running me to the washroom. So I'm going to let this cool off. Now I don't have any meat gloves, but before my meat freeze, what you want to do is kind of separate the meat out. So let's see here. Got to get it open if you can. Okay, we're just going to cut it from the back here. Cut down into it. If this knife is sharp enough, cut down into it. Okay, and get it open. I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to do once you get it out. Take your meat out. Best you can get it out. Right. Okay. The whole thing. Just take the whole thing out. Try to take it out in the square that it's in. You know, I let it freeze a little bit. Then I said I ain't gonna let it freeze all the way because I know I got a meal prep. What I do with all these, I put them in another bag and I put them in the freezer and wrap them up until I take the garbage out because they be stinking. Garbage can. Get a full bag. Now you're going to get your couple of Ziplocs out. Right? And take some more wax paper. This is what you're going to use to separate it. Normally you can wear your meat gloves for this if you want to wear your meat gloves. Let me see if I can put this up here. I want you to see what I'm doing, but I want you to see because you're going to need to get you some wax paper. You can go to the Dollar Tree. Some Dollar Trees have meat separator papers. They have the papers that separate it that you can use. But I don't have that, and I don't have time to go to the Dollar Tree. So what I do is I take my wax paper and I kind of cut it like this. This is how I do my meat. And then you kind of cut it like this. Make it into a square. I think you can buy these in the Dollar Tree. I've seen them in one Dollar Tree. They was like $1.25. And they already in the square like this. That's how it go. Separating wax paper. So you're going to take your meat and just cut it. It come like this, like a chunk, wagyu. You can cut it how you want to. I cut mine straight down like this. I let it get a little cold so that it's able to be cut and it won't fall apart. I cut mine straight down. Okay, be careful you don't want to cut your hand. See that? That's a whole patty. It's kind of flat, but that's a patty. Then you're going to put your meat wax paper there, just like that. You're going to put another one on top, just like that. Then you're going to cut the meat again, straight down. Because meat is expensive, so you don't want to just take a whole pack of meat and make 2 fat burgers when you could have had 4. Because this meat is very nourishing for you, especially when you eat a good side like butter or pickle or something. So, okay, there you go. That's 2. Now you're going to cut the last one in half, and you're going to be careful not to cut your hand. You let it freeze a little bit so that you can cut straight through it. But if you don't let it freeze, the hamburger falls apart. Okay? Be careful. You don't want to cut your hand. And take your time, so when you get close to your hand, you switch it. You know, you want to cut it out. Cut out, not cut your hand. This is very tricky here. Now you can come back from the other side with it. Some of it ain't froze, so it's falling apart. Okay. Now, this meat is so thin. You know, meat is so costly. So look at that. Look at that. That's not even a whole burger. I didn't cut it evenly. Okay, so you flap that on there, on top. Then you take your paper, cut you some more paper off. This is just what I do every time I get my meat. I make sure I cut it because it's expensive. And according to how many meals you make, you take out two, at least two. Okay, so now we got two Wagyu burgers separated here. One does thin and one does not. So we got two Wagyu burgers here. You're going to take it and put it in your Ziploc bag. This is how I freeze my meats. I keep me some wax paper and some Ziploc bags. So when you take this out, you can make a lunch or a breakfast or whatever. You say, okay, I got two burgers here. And I can make an egg with it or a cheese or whatever I want to make with it. There you go. That's for one person or two people. However, whatever you want to do with it. Then this other piece is kind of falling apart. That's a burger. You put that on there. Like that. Right? That's a whole burger there. Alright, you take your wax paper. I know people don't like their burgers thin, but when it starts getting the price, the meat starts getting real expensive, you better learn how to save and conserve. You better make it thin. As long as you got some meat on that plate. As long as you got some meat on that plate. Right? So you can get 4 nice flat little patties out of 1 pack of Wagyu. Okay? So now we got this one. We're going to put this one in a Ziploc bag. Right? That paper's kind of fat. That's 1 pack of Wagyu, and that's 4 burgers. That's how I do my separating. Now you can separate this burger any kind of way you want. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, but I like to cut it straight across. 1, 2, 3, 4. I cut it straight across. 1, 2, 3. You can cut it 1, 2, 3. You still got 4. However you want to cut it. But whatever the case, this is going to be a burger for one person. Now this is 4 burgers. If we had 2 apiece, 1 pack will give us 4 burgers. You want to do this to save money. When you pack them up in the freezer, you just stack all the burgers on top of each other. Now I can get 4 out of here, 4 out of here, and 4 out of here. That's 12. That's 16 burgers out of 4 packs of Wagyu. Okay, next, I'm going to show you the next thing I do. This here is just going to be cut straight down the middle. I'm going to show you how I cut this. Any meat you have can be cut to conserve and not overeat it. You know, just eat it for what it is. This right here, let me show you what I do with this. First you open it. I wish I had meat gloves. If you want to do a rinse, you can do a rinse. It's up to you. This kind of meat right here. Let me put this in this bag. This kind of meat right here, I'm going to do a quick rinse. Just one rinse. Okay. Throw it on your thing there. Now, what you want to do with this one is use your salt. Use your salt. Salt keeps everything in a preserved manner. So you're going to take your salt. Oh, guys, I've been trying to get that Kalima salt that I was telling you about. You know that Kalima salt went up to $20 a bag. When I first seen it, it was like they got some good salt down there in New Mexico or somewhere. So you take your salt. This helps preserve this meat because this meat was on a markdown. You take your salt. Salt is going to be your friend on a meat-eating diet. Take your little salt. Sprinkle it on both sides. Then you're going to cut it straight down the middle, just like so, to reveal 6. So 6 pieces. This steak is kind of thin, so you may want to eat it with an egg, right? Okay, so here you got 6 pieces. Take the steak. And you're going to take your paper, your wax paper, and separate it out in Ziploc bag, the steak. I got another one in there, but I'm not going to separate it because I'm just going to cook it tomorrow for dinner. 2 real large pieces. Now this one I'm going to cut sort of in a couple of extra pieces because the meat isn't that big. Okay. Now it's a thin steak, so we're going to have 3 a piece of this item. You zip like that. That's for one person on a meal. That's 3 slices of steak. See how you do that? That's how you save money. You don't say, well, I got 1 pack. Let me open another pack, and we're going to eat 2 packs. Now, if you got 3 people, you need 2 packs. If you got 4 people, you might need 3 packs, you know. But all in what you do, you could even use 1 pack with 2 people here, you know. It's all in how you package and save your food that gets you through the month. It's all in what you do. Because if you package it right, you're going to get through the month and you're going to save. But if you just in there slamming down a whole, let me just slam down a whole thing of meat. That's what we did last time. We ran out of meat. We had to go back to the store. And the month became expensive. But the month is inexpensive when you say, let me cut this meat in half and stretch it. Let me cut it in half so I can stretch this meat. And you get your Ziploc bags. And when you're cooking, you want to use an egg or your coleslaw on the side. You take this out, saute it, however you want to saute it. Fresh garlic is what I like. Fresh garlic. Onion and salt. Onion powder and salt. And then say, let me put my egg on the side, or let me get him some coleslaw on the side. See that? That's for 1 meal. That's 3 pieces of steak. Okay. There you go. These are small pieces, but that's okay. That's still steak. With something added to it to add to the plate. Now, I got to do my Wagyu burgers, of course. But I'm going to show you this. I got 2 big platters of this beef right here. Now, these I make like a pub burger. Let me show you what I mean by pub burger. What I do with these is, I'm not going to be very long. I'm just trying to make sure I show you guys so when you get ready to cook or whatever, you got your meat separated. Take these right here. This was $10 for this great big one here. These are not going to be flat. Empty the meat out so I can show you what I got. Now with this, I can add me some fresh garlic right inside. But most of the time, I just add it in a skillet. A big piece like this, you want to cut it down the middle. Straight down. Cut it across in 4s. Straight across. Okay. Now, I could even cut this and make it thin, but I'm not. What I do with these is I'm going to cut it again like that. I'll make these to pub burgers. But I'm only going to do 6 cuts. I'm not going to do 8 because that's going to be too much. These I like to make big burgers like this, like a big fat burger, right? Just like that. So you can just put it in there and cook you a big burger, right? I like to make a big burger with it. And I saute me some garlic right in the skillet. That's 4. These down here are not going to be that big. It's 6 burgers I got out of that. 6 pub burgers. Put your little salt on there and then throw it in the bag. Wrap it in the paper and throw it in the bag. Also add my garlic right here. Add my little garlic powder. This garlic powder with a little salt in it too. All right. Then I have a little onion powder. We'll put the onion powder on when we cook it. Now, what you want to do with this one is little. It's like a big meatball. Just put it in a bag like that. I mean, in a paper. Wrap it up so that the meat is always warm. It keeps it tender while it's frozen. Keep it wrapped up. So, cut your paper. Take that big burger. This one you're going to cook right by itself. And you just put that in a bag. Ziploc. Ziploc. You just put them all in a Ziploc. And freeze them. And this is meat prep. Now the other pack of steaks, I'm going to cook them tomorrow. I didn't buy no white meat because I'm only doing beef this month. Next month, I'm going to get white meat. Well, at the end of the month, I'm going to do some white meat for you guys. Some chicken and stuff. So, we're going to do that like that. This one here needs to be put together because it's too small. Make this into one pub burger. Another thing I like to do with a pack of meat like this is make a meatloaf, 2 mini meatloaves out of it. You can also take a pack of meat like this and make it into meatballs. It's all in what you want to do with your meat. Just get you a bulk amount of meat home, and then you begin to break that meat down however you think you're going to cook it. I'm a quick cook. I like to make a burger. I like to saute some steak, something like that. I like to keep some steak, some burger, you know. If I can get pot roast or plank steak or something like that, then I'm going to get me some good fresh seasoning. I'm going to show you how I cook that. And I'm going to make a different coleslaw with that other steak. I'm going to show you a coleslaw made with greens. And you just keep zip-locking your meat, and then you take it all and you stick it in the freezer. I got another pack to do. I'm going to make meatballs out of the other pack of hamburger. Sometimes we want to eat a meatball instead of just a burger. Make some meatballs. All right. Hurry up and get it out and cook it. It's already kind of packaged up for you the way you like to cook it. And you get up in the morning before you go cook that day, every morning, and say, well, let me set my meat down in the bottom of the refrigerator. And then sometime in the day you come and set it on the counter because you're going to cook it. You know, take it out and sit it in the bottom. Don't sit it out right away, because if you run out and forget it's there and you end up going all day, your meat's spoiled. Just sit it in the bottom. And so far we got all of these. Got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 packs here, 3 packs of steak, and 2 packs of burgers. So I still got my Wagyu. I'm going to make meatballs out of the next big pack. So I'm going to add these into the freezer here. Separating out the meat into cooking parts. It's in the freezer. This is going to be Sunday dinner. I'm not going to separate it. I'm just going to take it out and cook it because there's only 2 big steaks in it. Then I got this that I'm going to do with some jalapenos. I'm going to show you this when I cook it up with jalapenos. So I'm not going to worry about separating it right now. So that's a lot of meat. I also got some bacon in there, but I'm not going to separate the bacon because the bacon is for something like a snack. I'm going to show you a snack that I do with my bacon. This here, I'm going to make meatballs. I'm just going to do a lot of meatballs with this one. Just roll them up. Just going to make them all meatballs. And I'm going to have about 3 bags of little meatballs out of it. When you make your own meatballs, it's better. You can cut up onions inside of this, you know, however you want, but I don't have no onion. Forgot to get the onion. Do a lot with beef, however you want it. But just get you some couple of packages, big packages, so you can do your meat prep for whatever you want to cook. Now we're not using pasta when we cook this. I'm gonna eat it either with an egg or I'm gonna make the coleslaw on the side. We're not doing no pasta, or just eat it with some cheese on top and maybe a slice of butter or something, but probably some cheese on top and saute it down and some spices. Just to have a little something different. You don't want to eat a burger all the time. So you do a plate of meatballs. Some people say, oh, let me go get a bag of meatballs. No, make your own meatballs. It's cheaper and it tastes better and you know what's in it. I wish I had bought onion because I could have put onion in here with this, but I didn't. So far I got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I have about 25 of these. And they pretty nice size. 20. Okay, that's 21. I got 23. 22. Okay, that's 23 meatballs, right? So, take my meatballs. Make them with a gravy and some onion and garlic. And you just put them all in bags. However many you think you're going to cook for a meal or 2 meals. You know, just bag them up. And then when you're ready to cook them, just take your bag out or 2 bags out. Okay, so that's meatballs there. Probably cook 2 bags at a time. Right? And these are real beef meatballs. These are not some additive inside of the beef, you know. Real beef meatballs. Now, if I had made these smaller, I could have got way more out of here. But that's okay. That's a meal right there. Meatballs. And I have a few more for another meal. This is a second meal right here. I don't know exactly how many days I'll get out of these meals that I have, but I'm going to try to get as many days as I can. We'll probably have we're going to be eating 3 times a day for the next 2 weeks. So there's the second meal of the day will probably just be egg with cheese. Meat's so expensive. We'll only eat the meat twice a day, and we'll eat in the middle of the day. Either he'll eat a slaw of some kind. I got some baby shrimps that I've been trying to get rid of. He'll eat a slaw, and I'll eat the egg and cheese, or I'll give him the egg and cheese and the slaw. Because eggs is protein. They make me full. So we got 2 meals of meatballs. And then we'll have our breakfast and our dinner. So there you go. 2 meals. 1 pack of beef. Get off here. I've been on here 30 minutes. Now see, that's my freezer. You end up with a lot of little packs of meat, but you kind of got to separate it out. And the shrimp is here. I got to get rid of the little baby shrimp. That's my beef there. Butter over here. Then I got some breakfast sausages here that I still need to separate out. I'm not going to worry about separating them out right now. I might do them tomorrow. I'm going to finish doing my hamburger meat. You know, and down here we don't have too much of anything. I cooked some pork loin last night, so that's there that we got to finish today. So And I'm going to finish cutting these up here into burgers. And that's that. I'm just showing you to separate your meat. Meat's expensive. You want to save and you want to stretch. Goodbye.